So this is a little weird. It happened a few years ago and I hope it never happens again. But what I'm saying is 100% true. So, one night as I was sleeping, I heard someone walk into my room. Being a light sleeper, I opened my eyes right away to see what looked like my dad standing in the closet doorway. All I saw was a shadow of him though, no facial features. But I didn't think much of it, because it was dark and my mum was doing laundry, so I thought he was just messing with her, like he always does. So my mum walks in to give me my laundry, and I tell her, "Hey, Dad's in the closet, trying to scare you." She gives me this weird look, and looks in the closet, and then she says, "No one's in there." That creeped me out to the point where I need to have a light on in my room the whole night. It wasn't until I convinced myself it was just a dream that I managed to move on. I didn't tell my parents, and I still haven't. But that's not where it ends. A few days later, I see what looks like my brother go into the bathroom, but I only saw his shadow move, then close the door. Nothing too weird, right? Well, it wasn't until I got downstairs and saw my brother sitting at the table eating breakfast. I didn't believe it, and I went up to check on him. When I got there, no one was in the restroom, even though I clearly saw the person and the door was closed. I honestly thought I was going crazy. So I looked it up, and it turns out I'm not the only one with these experiences, and it targets random people. After that, I haven't seen anything top creepy happen in my house. Just at night I swear I hear faint music, but no shadow people, so that's better, I guess. I was around maybe 15 or 16 at the time, and my mum and I were visiting this friend whose name I can't remember, but for this story I'll just call him Bill. Bill lived out in this really old log cabin at the very edge of these old woods. It was around 11 o'clock at night. I was dead tired and my mum was driving through the woods. She had an extra gas tank in the back of the car because it was a really long trip. I fell asleep and woke up to this loud crash when my mum was putting gas in the car. It freaked me out. My mum told me to stay in the car because it sounded like a loud gunshot crossed with a lion's roar that came from a really pissed off person. She finished filling up the car and grabbed the flashlight, thinking it was someone stalking us, because in the middle of the woods, who knows what else could pop out. I heard a noise and I couldn't even describe afterwards. My mum never heard it. She was back after 5 minutes or so, and she was clearly freaked out. But even to this day, she won't tell me what it was. The paranormal is quite normal for our family. We're used to weird stuff. But these woods, imagine the lost woods from Ocarina of Time, crossed with Suicide Forest in Japan, with a dirt road in between. At that point, I'm too tired to even ask what freaked her out, so I go back to sleep. I woke up around maybe 4 in the morning and we made it to the cabin. Bill is this guy, and he can be described as a man-bear, standing at 6'4" and built like a wall, but the most friendly guy you'll ever meet. A gazebo was in the front yard, made out of pure walnut that he handcrafted, and beyond that were more woods and beautiful sights where the lakes just reflect off everything. We chat it up and have a fun time. He makes us this stew that is to die for. It was like tuna casserole stew, but beefy. Damn great stuff. But anyway, we're all relaxing by the gazebo at 11 at night. Normally I'd have gone to bed about this time, but it was summer vacation, so I was allowed to stay up. I start seeing these things, which can only be described as red brooding eyes, in the woods. But it was still too far to be certain. Bill ran inside to get his gun, and we followed him into the woods. The eyes disappeared and it got freezing cold. Like walk into a freezer kind of cold. The flashlight goes out and I got sandwiched right between Bill and my mum. And what happened after still scares me. All we hear is this loud, shrieking scream. Some black-haired woman who has no eyes and was in this torn, white, blood-stained robe, screaming, "Where are my babies?" Bill fires his shotgun. I'm bawling my eyes out and my mum is hugging me like a small child. It starts to warm up after that, and we went into the cabin. We were all hysterical. Bill locks the doors tightly and was shaking so hard he could barely hold his gun. We didn't sleep for the rest of that night. True story. Last school year I was in band class, and we had to be in the school auditorium due to people taking a test. After 15 minutes, we started hearing both doors in the auditorium open and close. Bear in mind that both doors were perfectly open at the time. It was so disruptive that even the teacher asked us about it. The only logical reason would be the boys and girls bathroom, which were nearby. But I still wonder why the teacher who was testing their students had let so many kids go to the bathroom like that. And there weren't that many taking the test anyway. Those doors were opening and closing. But the next occurrence, I simply can't back up with a scientific reason, despite me being a very religious person. I was playing my flute and I saw a white, shadowy-like figure move across the ground. I don't think it was out of fear, because I was only confused at the time. You probably think I was imagining things, but I wasn't. How was I not imagining, you may ask? Well, when we were putting our instruments away, I heard a few other girls talking about a figure, almost like the figure I saw, except they saw it in black. I don't know about anyone listening, but when the others see something you saw that seemed weird or creepy, you know you were not imagining. That was just a personal experience of mine from school, but others have their own stories, and we have our reasoning to believe that the school may be haunted. Basically, a kid died in the school, but he died near the bathroom a long time ago. I'm not going to give too many hints about the boy, because that could give away where I live. Now, back to the story. I have a friend who's a boy and we sometimes talk. They're the typical thug life guy and they're not that bad. But anyway, one was talking to me about something in the bathroom that only happened when he was alone. One day, the boy in my classroom tried pulling a Ghostbuster move out to see if something would happen. Me being a female, unfortunately, I couldn't see what happened there. But when they came out, they claimed a handprint got on the window where they didn't touch it. Personally, I go with the I won't believe it until I see it saying. so I don't know if they were telling the truth or not. Hey guys, it's Mort here and thank you for tuning in. These stories were all taken from brosgrim.co. It's a great website which I strongly suggest you check out. The link is in the description below. If you have your own story you want to submit, please send it to themortismedia@gmail.com to have it read out in the next video. Lastly, I just want to express how thankful I am to everyone for liking and subscribing and sticking around. It really does mean a lot to me. So thank you guys. You're all awesome and I'll see you in the next one.